In the near future, humanity found itself on the verge of exhausting its energy resources. Traditional energy sources could no longer meet the planet's needs, so engineers found a solution: on the Moon. There, on the side hidden from Earth, they began to extract helium-3, a fuel capable of solving the global crisis. Strangely enough, this complex system was to be managed by just one person. Sam Bell took on this role, signing a 3-year contract. By the end of his term, Sam had become a withdrawn, exhausted man. Emptiness and silence reigned around him. His only colleague was Gertie, a robot who was more like a caring nanny than a strict artificial intelligence. Sam has only one dream: to return home to his wife and daughter, whose photos hang throughout the base. Another batch of helium has been sent to Earth, and there are only a few weeks left until the end of the contract. But due to a satellite malfunction, direct communication is virtually impossible. Only rare messages from family and superiors arrive. Only thoughts of his wife keep Sam from a complete emotional breakdown. In his spare time, he tries to stay sane by carving a miniature copy of his hometown. But his body begins to malfunction. Hallucinations, weakness, burns from boiling water, nightmares. His health is rapidly deteriorating. When one of the harvesters, huge machines for extracting helium, breaks down, Sam sets off in a lunar rover to check the damage. But a new hallucination leads to an accident. When he wakes up, he finds himself in isolation. Gertie assures him that she only communicates with Earth through recorded messages, and that Sam must recover on his own. After a while, Sam tries to go to the surface, but the robot strictly forbids him to leave. Then the man resorts to trickery. He makes up a story about checking the hull, and Gertie finally relents. Sam breaks free and rushes to the crash site. There, the unimaginable awaits him. In the wrecked lunar rover lies a man, an exact copy of himself. The second Sam is taken to the station, the new patient regains consciousness. He has a burn on his hand, just like the first Sam. The older man decides that this is a dream or another vision. But later, both are forced to admit that they exist simultaneously. Gertie diligently avoids giving direct answers. At first, there is awkwardness between the two Sams, then irritation, and then a strange camaraderie. They argue about the farm, play ping-pong, and discuss his wife. The first clone remembers his daughter, which makes the second wonder, why don't their memories match? A message arrives from Earth. A rescue team will arrive soon. Old Sam already sees himself at home, but the new one realizes that something is wrong. He suspects that they are part of a long chain of clones. He begins to check every corner of the station in the hope of finding a laboratory or body storage facility. To no avail. Only the model of the city brings them closer together. It is clear that different hands worked on it at different times. After an argument, old Sam complains to Gertie about his short temper, and hears the truth for the first time. He is not the person who was brought here 3 years ago. He is a copy of him. His memory is implanted fragments of the real life of the real Sam Bell. The same thing happened with the second clone. The system activates a new one when it believes the previous one has died. Now that the fog has cleared, the new Sam demands an explanation as to why direct communication with Earth is impossible. The two of them go beyond the communication zone and find jammers. They are the ones blocking the signal. The older Sam feels worse and worse. Blood, weakness, a lost tooth. His condition shows that clones are not designed for long-term use. Gertie helps him access his personal file, where Sam sees terrible confirmation. Records of other clones who died, just as he is dying. Hair loss, body deterioration. It's all part of the cycle. And now he has to accept it. His life is programmed, his dreams are borrowed, and time is running out fast. When a clone's life comes to an end, the same thing always happens. They are placed in a cryo capsule, supposedly to be sent to Earth. But in reality, this capsule is just a prop. Every 3 years, the system activates a new Sam and disposes of the old one. This is the real life cycle of every clone. Realizing that something is wrong, Sam decides to check the capsule himself. In the same room, he unexpectedly finds a secret hatch. He calls the second Sam, and they take turns climbing down. Before them opens a huge underground storage facility. Endless rows of chambers, each containing new, still unawakened clones of Sam Bell. It's a production line. The older clone decides to take a desperate step. He leaves the signal jamming zone to call home to himself. An unfamiliar girl answers the call. She says that Tess died many years ago, and standing in front of the camera is their daughter, the adult, 15-year-old Eva. Sam manages to hear the voice of his original self, and the connection is lost. He realizes the terrible truth. He will never return home, and the life he thought was his has long belonged to someone else. Old Sam's condition is rapidly deteriorating. He is coughing up blood, can barely stand, and is convinced that the team that has arrived will eliminate them both as dangerous witnesses. New Sam takes care of him, reviews the recording of the conversation, and realizes that action must be taken. He persuades Gertie to help activate another clone. This gives them a chance. At least one of them will be able to escape. When the third Sam appears on the table, the emaciated old clone looks at him with surprise and longing. The second Sam announces the plan. The new clone will stay in the broken lunar rover to distract the arriving team. The other two will fly to Earth. But the old Sam is barely hanging on. His body is literally falling apart before their eyes. He refuses to fly. His time is up, and he is ready to take his place in the rover himself. Before parting, they recall their first meeting with Tess. The only real memory, albeit someone else's. The old man can barely move. Sam lifts him up and carries him to the lunar rover, leaving him to live out his last hours alone. Less than 2 hours remain before the team's arrival. Gertie warns Sam that his plan may fail. All data about what is happening is being recorded. But the robot immediately reminds him of his main task: to help people. He promises to delete all records after departure. Sam thanks him and reboots him. The robot manages to say goodbye. The team is already heading to the landing site when Sam climbs into a small rocket designed to send helium to Earth. At the last second, he rushes to the panel and finds a way to reprogram the Combine to destroy the signal suppression devices. When the installations are destroyed, the station finally gets the chance to go on the air. Sam takes off just as the team enters the station, and the new clone opens his eyes, not understanding what is happening. On the moon, the old Sam watches the rocket take off. Their plan has worked. Later, we learn that Sam has made it to Earth, and now he is testifying, revealing to the world the truth about the corporation that built its business on the endless lives of clones. That's where the movie ends.